Everyone to the once a month special Q&A. Also another word for it is the philosophical chat. I'm doing a combo. For the first 30 minutes you can ask me anything about Urbanist, and then later on you can ask me literally about anything else. I'm cozied up warm inside this little cubicle that is in the outdoor seating area. I'm still so glad that still outdoor seating does exist, because that means I can have a little bit more quietness and chillness when I do these live videos. So feel free to ask me any questions about Urbanist the first 30 minutes. I am Ariel. This is the show where I explore cities all around the world. I gotta take off my gloves and my hat from my pockets. And I quickly found a place I can sit down, relax, and chat with all of you. I do these because we mostly talk about travel and anything related to it. Usually history, food, culture, and architecture. But in these once a month specials, after the first 30 minutes, I let you ask anything that you would like whatsoever. But I am not going to let you know where I'm at until the very end. I am having some dinner, or some lunch actually, and I will let all of you know where I am at towards the end of this video. If you know where I'm at, please keep it to yourself and don't say in the comments. Why is a cheeseburger called half a camel? Pablo, that I don't know. Hey Kay, hello Cynthia, hello Trisha, hello Bella, hello ABX girl. Nice to see you here. Hello Helen. Wendy says quick hello to you. Have to hop on the bus soon. Hey Wendy, thank you so much for tuning in. Allison says, are you following any podcasts you would recommend? So when it comes to New York City podcasts, I would recommend Bowery Boys continues to just make great shows. And they explain New York City history so well. But beyond that, I am a fan of... I'm trying to remember the name of the show. It's a New York City show run by a real estater. And the name is escaping me right now. If anyone knows exactly what I'm talking about, do let me know. Let me see what other shows I remember. 99% Invisible continues to make great shows. I wish they would make more shows, more shows about New York City or about architecture. They kind of have gone a bit weirder now. That's it. I don't listen to too many podcasts. I listen to a film podcast called KCRW. The Treatment, I think, is the name of the podcast, for movie news, very current movie news. That's basically the gist of the podcasts I would recommend. However, each new location I visit, I usually use a new podcast to learn quickly from. So I'm learning here and there a little bit about UK, United Kingdom, with a podcast hosted by a famous BBC host, whose name I also don't know. Sorry about that. I usually don't capture the names with these podcasts because I listen to them more out of research and don't really pay attention to who's hosting it, what's the name. I think one of the more better podcasts about Paris is the Land of Desire. It's a great podcast. Katie says, where are you going to next? I don't know yet. But you'll be seeing me traveling in 2022. I'm here in New York City, chilling out, doing work. I was hired to make a mini documentary for an exhibition called Rise New York. I just sent in the third version of the edit that now features Tim Gunn as the centerpiece. So once I 100% know that is going to be featured, I will be telling you all about the exhibition and how you can visit it yourself. And maybe I can even feature it on the live video for people who are unable to come over here. Hey Jay, come check out Toronto. I prefer places I can really walk in. Let me know how walkable Toronto is. Susie says, Susie, hey, hello Ron, hello Jax, hello Mater, nice walls. Yeah, Urbanist orange walls. All right, cocktails coming, so bear with me. Okay, all right, still waiting on the cocktail. Hey, Teresa says, Father and I are excited to see you. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Exciting work. Merry Christmas, says Barbara. Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate you. Jay says it's very walkable. You'll love the history. Lois says Johnny Strides blocks Toronto. Yeah, he's one of the live streamers in Toronto. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy.
Ooh, we got ourselves a margarita. Not margarita, actually. This is not margarita. This is called a mezcalita. So instead of using tequila, they use mezcal. And this is a piña mezcalita, pineapple mezcalita. Let's try this out. Ooh, wow. It has a kick. Usually mezcalitas tend to be spicy. I asked for no jalapeno, but the rim is still a bit spicy. But luckily it's not undrinkable as some spicy margaritas. Wow, it has a kick to it. Mezcal is very kind of smoky. And I like that they're using fresh pineapple. I can tell that it's a fresh pineapple juice. And I love the little touch of basil on top. It's very nice. Or, what is this? I think it's basil. Or maybe something different. Oh, that's cilantro. I like the touch of cilantro on top. Does it have alcohol? It does indeed. It's made with mezcal, which is a very smoky type of tequila. Marina says, nice to catch you live. Am I in the bathroom? No, I'm in an outdoor area. I'll just show you very briefly. Of course, right next to me. There we go. Unfortunately, some restrictions are coming back this weekend, says Kate. I'm so sad about that. I'm really sad about that. Is that your lunch made in the background? Here, there are some pumpkin items on the menu, but I did not get a pumpkin item this time around, Susie. Hey, Barbara, sounds delicious. Great drink. Yeah. So, first 30 minutes, so we got about 20 minutes. Feel free to ask me anything about Urbanist or travel-related questions. And then we'll go on to the philosophical chat, where you can ask me literally anything you would like. Susie says, Ariel, I can't think of a thing. No worries, Susie. Marina says, nice to catch you live. Cheers. Have you been to Scandinavia, says Katie. I have not been to Scandinavia, but I've been right next to Scandinavia. I went to Helsinki, Finland. I know Finland is not a Scandinavian country, but I have been to at least 2 Nordic countries, Finland and Estonia. I know they have a reputation for wanting to say that they want to be Scandinavian. But yeah, I can't wait to one day go to Scandinavia. Norway, Denmark, or Sweden would all be awesome to visit. Copenhagen sounds like an absolute blast to visit. I would love to experience Hygge. I'd love to go to northern parts of Norway and hang out with the Sami people, who are the natives of northern Norway and other parts of Sweden and Finland, who have a lot of things that are closely associated with the mythology of Christmas. Lois says Switzerland. Switzerland is not Scandinavia, but I can't wait to one day visit Switzerland because of its nature, its beauty, natural beauty. What's the first thing you pack when you travel? My camera gear, which I actually have all inside here. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I will be super urbanists and above are getting a 360 VR tour of the Guggenheim. 13-minute tour of the Guggenheim. I show you the architecture, I show you the interior, and then I'll be posting a short TikTok version of the Guggenheim video publicly. So if you want full access to these videos, I usually feature museums and things that are a little bit tougher to post publicly for super urbanists. So go to patreon.com/urbanist. and you can become a supporter there. And you'll be getting Christmas related things. Mega Urbanist will be getting a nice little thing for Christmas. So if you want to receive a Christmas card, you can. Patreon.com/urbanist. PayPal him so we can buy him all the hot dogs. So he can buy us all hot dogs, says Pablo. There's a great hot dog place here in this vicinity. I'll let everyone know what neighborhood I'm in towards the end. Hey, Susie says, Gary and I newly went to an Arctic cruise. And I nearly went to Arctic cruise to the North Cape of Norway, but it got canceled to you know what. I'm so sorry to hear that, everyone. I am a bit bummed that we're having too many restrictions again. What do you enjoy most about Christmas? Asked Andrew. The decorations here in New York City. I think it's the most magical place you can visit for Christmas. Katie says, do you do all your own filming? I do, yeah. Nearly everything you've seen from me the past 5 years is filmed by me. And my work for my clients, currently I still film it myself. Sometimes I have a friend helping me out, but I have not officially worked with the videographer that I pay yet. But I'll put this out into the universe. I want to work with someone who both shoots video and edits it in order to work with me to make some more practical official vlogs about New York City or any other city I may visit. So I'll put that out. If anyone out there is a videographer editor, do feel free to reach out to me. And you're based in New York City, at least for this month, do feel free to reach out. Will you ever do another stint in Boston? I've been very tempted, Dustin, very tempted to do another stint in Boston. I really enjoyed Boston. So yeah, Boston, one of my favorite cities. Dustin, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you and your family are doing well. I loved it, and I really do want to go back. Worst case scenario, if Europe closes in January, which I'm really hoping it doesn't. Please, can someone talk to Boris, to whoever runs the European Union? Please tell them not to close Europe for American tourists. I'll be so sad if we go into the new year and Europe is closed. And the Irish president, please speak to Higgins. But will I be going to, if Europe does close, I probably will be covering again Boston, DC, maybe New Orleans, maybe Hawaii, maybe Puerto Rico. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much.
Price?
Wonderful, thank you. All right. So here we have the food. We have the suadero tacos. 2 tacos. I'm in a very expensive area, and I thought it was going to be 3 tacos. But here is the avocado fries. Kay says, please don't mention Europe closing. I'll be so sad. Yeah, I'll be sad too. So I don't think the US will close, so I think you are in luck. Kay, just beware. Ireland does not have testing that's super quick. So if you're now to get into the US, you need to get a test within 1 day. Some countries like Italy, you can get an instant test. But in Ireland, the airport has a bad reputation. So make sure your flight is in the afternoon or at night so you can take the test there at the airport in Dublin. or you have no other choice actually. So yeah, make sure you don't take a morning flight. You'll be screwed because you can't take a test in Ireland a day ahead of time. You have to wait 2 or 3 days. So let me show you the avocado fries over here. Yep, these are fried avocados. Fried avocados with a nice sauce right there. Now let's try it out. Oh, it's sensitive. It's sensitive. Hey, Mighty Bull, what's your opinion on astrology? Thank you so much for a super chat, Mighty Bull. Ooh, I like it. Nice touch. I like when avocados are fried. I've tried a few of them a few times. It's a very nice touch. Wow. It retains the avocado-iness, which is great. So the avocado is not compromised. It's not too hard, not too soft. It doesn't taste icky. Avocado is very sensitive to heat, so it can turn very bad very quickly. But somehow they put the breading in. It's just perfect. The breading is very juicy. What kind of sauce is it? They put like a ketchup sauce and they put some type of orange type of spicy sauce, but kind of a mild spice. Not too much.
You doing okay so far?
You're doing very good. Thank you so much. Susie says anything can be fried. Avocados are tough to fry because they can be very sensitive. They can turn very brown very quickly. So, super chat $5. Thank you so much, Mighty Bull. What are my thoughts on astrology? I believe that there is some validity to astrology. The reason I think that is we are a product of our environments. We are not separate from our environments. So if we're born on a very cold day, our bodies might be affected by that when we're born. If we're born during a time where there's very high pressure, it also might be affected by that. It has an effect. Whatever that effect is, I don't know the full extent. Gravity also has an effect on us. We are, in essence, slaves to gravity here on this planet. We're on the ground all the time. We fall with consequences, we die if we fall from any big height. So that said, who's to say that these gigantic planets that revolve around the sun concurrently with the Earth don't have an effect on ourselves, both physically, but people don't usually forget that our mental personality, capacity, quirks are derived from the physical. They're not separate either. The mental is not separate from the physical either. So who's to say that these gigantic planets, some smaller, some larger, with huge gravitational pulls that all work in unison around the sun, don't affect us in some way? So yes, I think astrology has some validity. Do I believe it whole cloth? Not really, but I think it has a lot of validity. All right, let's try this out. Great. Great meat. Wow. Great meat. However, these guys only put one tortilla. That's very bad for such a juicy meat. You gotta put two tortillas. Wow. That's so good. Oh, that was really good. What are your thoughts on psychics? Astronomical. I think there's also some validity to psychic abilities. What are they? I don't know. but I think there's much more to our inner worlds, the mind, than what we know thus far. Isn't it rather strange that cultures across the world, to some extent, in every single type of mythology, has some type of psychic abilities with some type of beings? That's kind of a universal concept for humanity. It's a bit interesting. So that I think lends to something. There's something there. Do you think there's spirits among us, says Gary? That gets tricky. I would say yes, there's a lot more to our lives than we thought possible. You have a linen napkin, must be upscale. It is upscale, yeah. I'm in a very fancy area. I'll let everyone know where I'm at the end. Ashley just asked. I'll let everyone know at the end. I miss your birdie mittens, says Mirno. Thank you, Kay, for the very generous $20 super chat. Wow. Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, round of hearts to Kay. That's super generous of you. All right. The heater is on. I'm getting toasty. Now I can remove one layer. Do you think humanity will find immortality? I don't think we want to. I think some people might want to, but they're clinging on to our material realm. I think immortality is a trap. Do you really want to be immortal if you don't know what else is out there? Because immortality is the belief that there is nothing more. That once you die, you are left in an eternal void of nothingness. And in order to avoid that eternal void of nothingness, we might as well live forever. But who's to say that there is an eternal void of nothingness? I don't think there is. I think it's more complicated than that. Girl in the Curl says, handsome sweater. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's made after a 17th century globe, 18th century globe. As Phil says, I don't want to be immortal. I'm tired. Is it hot on jacket? It is a bit hot because of the heating that they have here. But now it's getting a bit chilly. I just took it off. Now I feel a little bit chilly. All right, I'm gonna eat this. DS says, what's your absolute favorite thing to eat? My absolute favorite thing to eat is burritos. I don't feature it too often, but I love burritos. I go crazy for burritos. Susie says that's the old jumper. No, I actually started wearing jumpers, as they call it in the UK. Here we call them sweaters. Started wearing sweaters recently. So do they need medical personnel at the airports? I don't know what countries are going to do now with that 1 day requirement. Virginia, I don't know. I hope they accommodate because in Ireland I had to extend my trip by 2 days because I couldn't find a test that would give it to me on time. My flight was early in the morning. It was about 1 hour away from boarding the plane when the testing site in the airport was going to open. It wasn't a 24/7 testing site. I did not have enough time, so I had to extend my trip by 2 days to get a traditional test in the city. In the city, they didn't have too much. So, yeah, some countries are a little bit tougher than others. Have you ever done a jazz club feature as Gil? I have, yeah. Quite a long time ago. I did a an entire jazz tour with these two tour guides that are really talented musician and singer. It's two people, a woman and a man. The man is a talented musician, the woman is a talented singer. And they run jazz tours through Harlem. And they took me a few years ago. I think this was back in 2017. And it was awesome. It was awesome. And guess what? I have reached back to them, and I might do a series of TikToks, short videos, that will feature the jazz history of Harlem. I will be posting that, permitting that I do it. I think we'll be able to do it next week. We'll be posting that on YouTube as all compiling all the videos together. But yeah, stay tuned. There might be a jazz tour happening soon via edited videos. All right, I'm just gonna nibble on these avocado fries. They're really good. Great tacos. Great tacos. For the price I'm paying, I'm not sure if I would come here, but they were really good tacos. I'd love to see another food tour of Harlem. I never actually officially done a full food tour of Harlem. I only covered one restaurant in Harlem, which is Auntie Ruth's Fried Chicken and Waffles. And that was a really cool place to cover. Woody Allen performs at Cafe Carlyle. Kelly, I was considering going to Cafe Carlyle, but yeah, it's closed unfortunately. Mildred says, "Ooh, love jazz." Me too. Yeah. Hey.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, ABX girl, thank you so much for tuning in the live video. I gotta put on back my jacket. This heater is good, but it's not that good. Okay, everyone, we're close to the end of the travel only section, even though I accepted like 2 more esoteric questions. Feel free to ask me literally anything. Now, let's go into the philosophical chat part of the segment. Ask me literally anything about life, the universe, and everything else. How old are you, says Hila. I don't answer personal questions, but feel free to ask anything else. Are we living in a simulation? And Hila also asks, is cronut better than a croissant? Hila, great line of questioning you have there. Yes, I would say a cronut is awesome. The original cronut is amazing. Nothing, in my opinion, nothing compares to it. In my opinion, it is the best pastry ever made in the history of mankind. It is a great pastry. It just balances so many wonderful things together. Would I have it over a donut or croissant? If I can find the original, any day. Unfortunately, the original is only here in New York. I think they might have one in Paris. And I think they might have one in LA, and that's it. Unfortunately, there are copycats for the croissant, and I have not tried a good copycat yet. New Kids on the Block, they're seeing flashbacks with your sweater, says Roland. Yeah, indeed they are. Hey, Mark. Everyone, Mark has been tuning in for a very long time. And today's his birthday. So everyone, give a round of hearts to Mark for his wonderful, wonderful birthday today. Hey, Wendy says late. I'm sorry. No worries, Wendy. Red, green tortilla chips for Christmas? No. They didn't give me tortilla chips and salsa here. I'm a bit bummed. That's not quite the... Yeah, if you're eating at a fancy Mexican restaurant, they can at least give you some chips and salsa. Adam says, I know a great Guatemalan restaurant. They offer very good soups and rich foods and chocolate like Guatemala. Oh, cool. In Brooklyn. Cool. I'll keep that in mind. What's the name? Ix. 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 Thank you, Adam. What do you remember most about Christmas when growing up? Going to Times Square with my family to see movies. Excuse me. To see movies at the theaters that were right on Times Square before. There's really no longer a movie theater on Times Square as there used to be. But we would go to the movies. We would have, on Christmas Day or the 23rd, we would have Howard Johnson, which was a very famous diner restaurant in the middle of Times Square. Closed down, I think, by the mid-90s or late 90s. And they had an amazing milkshake. And that's what I remember the most of Christmas. Wendy says, I'm reading the Antarctic book. It's great. Oh, wow. Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Wendy. As I mentioned, it's not for the faint of heart. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Deanne says, if you were stranded on a desert island for an indeterminate length of time, what 5 objects would you have with you? Only 5 objects. That's tough. I would have my phone. And my charger. At least with that, I could have a lot of entertainment. And I can film the experience. So a phone, my iPhone and the charger. Beyond that, I would have I'm assuming you want me to cheat and say I have a raft. Because I would have a raft. I would have a yacht. If I could choose 5 objects, I would have a yacht parked at the desert island so I can get out of there. The yacht could be empty, I don't care. But no, in all realness, I would have an iPhone, the charger, a food processor to make food on this desert island, and the new Earthlink that Elon Musk is developing. I will have one of those antennas set up so I can have internet access and get rescued. Where's the place where you would love to explore most in the U.S. if money was no object? Someone earlier asked me a question that is related to that. Do you drive? I have a driver's license. I do know how to drive. I have driven from time to time. I just don't like it too much. I prefer living and traveling to places where I don't need to drive. I'd rather walk and take public transportation. I just feel more free that way. So US, there's not that many places that I would go because of that. I just don't like driving. But if I were driven around, I think it would be fun to go to Colorado, I think. Check out the naturescapes of Colorado and the skiing and the Sundance Film Festival, things like that. That would be really cool. Things like that. Yeah, that's it. I'm not too excited. I love Boston. I love New York. I love Puerto Rico, and I'm very curious to go one day to Hawaii. But I'm not super excited for most of the U.S. Oh wow, Kelly says I'll drop you on and off. Come to Colorado, okay, Kelly. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. The mountain views are amazing. I'm so glad they are. You mean you need a chauffeur? I just don't like driving. I don't need a chauffeur. I'm not looking for a chauffeur. I just don't like driving, so I just go to places where I don't need to drive. I know this is shocking for many Americans out there, and there's a few other countries in the world where driving is part of the culture. America, Canada, I think Australia is like that, and a few other countries like that. Puerto Rico's like that. Yeah, I'm very much European in that context. I do not like driving. What is your favorite season? Summer, just because I just love the heat, the sun, the sweat, the humidity, the walking in blazing sun, but in a nice shaded area. That's why I like it. Will you do driverless? I would do driverless, yeah. I don't like driving either. I have a license though. No car, says Marty. Yeah, let us know if you are on team no driving. Kay says, I don't like driving. It makes me nervous. Yeah, driving is a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility. You have this gigantic vehicle. And especially in city atmospheres, which I like cities more. City atmospheres, there's so much pressure. Pedestrians, bicyclists. Do you hike? I don't really hike. I walk in the city. Don't really do too much hiking. Is it because you're a Gemini? Do you like summer? I am indeed a Gemini. Ariel, my mom is very upset today. Yahya. Why, Yahya? Why is that? I hope she's okay. You don't have to drive in Southern California. Period. It's a traffic nightmare. You do have to drive. We are girl. I know what you have to drive. Yeah, it is a traffic nightmare. Yeah, exactly. Southern California, you require it. Do you ski? I never skied in my life. Though when I was younger, I really loved snowboarding games. Not skiing, but I love snowboarding games. Oh well, thank you. You have to drive, says Girl the Curl. Yeah. Pedestrian cyclists. I mean so many to run over. Oh yeah, it is a lot of pressure here in New York City. Have you been to Australia? And if not, will you visit our country one day, says Lorraine. I do want to go to Australia. I would ideally go to Sydney and Melbourne. The top two choices I would go. I might go to Tasmania as well. Walter says SSX? Yeah, I went to, that's exactly the video game I was hooked on. SSX 3 is probably one of the best video games ever made in the history of mankind. George, do you enjoy video games? I enjoy them, but I haven't played them. I haven't played a video game in like 4 years. The last major video game I really played was Uncharted 4, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Those are the two, and Spider-Man. So 3 years ago, Spider-Man. 3 last games I played. Wendy says, are we on the philosophical questions yet? Yeah, we are. Feel free to ask me literally anything. Alright everyone, no more travel questions. Feel free to ask me anything else. Yahya says, your dad passed away her dad, your mom's dad, your grandfather passed away this Wednesday. I'm so sorry, my condolences, Yahya. The last thing you accidentally stole. I know this happened to me recently. I took something by mistake. What was it? Stealing is bad. Don't steal ever. But I remember it happens. Yeah, it happened like a coffee shop here in New York City. Like I didn't get charged. I realized I didn't actually get charged. I realized that after I left the coffee shop. It happens sometimes, so I think that's the only example I really have. Have you ever been to Belgium? Says Evangeline. Not yet. So, Catherine says you stole the Galway girl's heart. Janita says, how are you today? I'm doing well. Our Cartier bracelet, if not, no. Okay, hello. Thanks for the replay. All three of them were, all three of them were cool games. They are, yeah, very good games. I used to be a very hardcore World of Warcraft player, and then for multiplayer I also loved Halo. Halo 2 I was most hooked on, and then subsequently number 3. Have you started watching Hawkeye? I have, and I love it. Do I watch all the superhero movies? I have watched the majority of the Marvel movies. Catherine says the drunken chick. Well, no. No heart stealing there. Neil says, have you ever been arrested for being too good looking? No, I've never been arrested. Have you started watching Hawkeye? Yeah, so I really love Hawkeye. I would recommend it to everyone. If you want to see a great Christmas show in New York City, watch Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a superhero show, but it doesn't focus on the superheroes with a bunch of powers. It's a bit more grounded because the main character doesn't actually have any superpowers. So you could think of it more like a spy show. Really, really great show. Highly recommend. It takes place in New York City in Christmas time and is shot on location in New York. It's not like a lot of New York City Christmas movies where they cheat and they shoot a few exteriors and then everything is on the set. I recently saw Serendipity, and that was mostly the case with Serendipity. It's mostly shot on the set. But it does feature some like kind of New York places, which was nice. But yeah, Hawkeye is genuinely a New York City show. Highly recommend watching it. Diaz says, your thoughts on Spider-Man trailer? I am so excited. I already have my tickets to go to see Spider-Man on opening day. I'm already set. Halo is life. A new one's coming out in 5 days. Really, George? Yeah, so cool. Do you have a dessert menu?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have the churros.
Okay.
We have the flan.
What else?
Leches. The flan is like a custard cake.
Okay.
The flan is leches and a chocolate cake.
Ooh. I'll have is it tres leches watery? Is it like or is it more like cake?
It's more like a cake.
In that case, I'll have flan.
Flan?
Yeah, thank you.
May I remove this for you?
Yes, you can. That was great. Yeah, thank you. Oh, should I ask for coffee? No. When you plan a big trip, do you stay calm or feel overwhelmed? It depends on the location, Catherine. If it's a very different location, then yeah, I feel a little bit overwhelmed. That's how I felt with that's how I kind of felt with Greece, because Greece was I had to it wasn't just one city. I had to hop around. I decided to hop around in Greece, and that was a bit overwhelming. Lorraine says, I never eaten flan. Oh, you're about to see some flan. Janina says, coffee, always. Indeed. Mexican places usually have like quick coffee. It's not the best coffee. Thank you. Do you have coffee?
Yes, I was just gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Would you like? We have espressos. We could do lattes, cappuccino.
Cool. I'll have an Americano then.
Americano?
Yeah.
Of course.
Neil, welcome to the live video. Neil says, you look very orange. Yeah, it's because I have a heater right up there. It isn't because I ate a bunch of pumpkins. If people never fall in love, will they be truly happy? Wendy, that's a great question. Where does Ariel live, says Peace Scarf. New York. I don't say exactly where I live. But Wendy, that's a great question. Is life truly happy if you never love? The thing is, a lot of people associate love with just romantic love. That's the only type of love. But there's love everywhere. There's love of family, there's love of friends, there's love of career, there's love of art. There's love everywhere. Life is about love, in my opinion, from my experience. Life, the meaning of life, if I were to attribute one, is to love. Any way you can, in every way you can, to love. And no, it doesn't always need to mean romantic. To love your neighbor, to love the person crossing the street, to love that rude person at the coffee shop. It might be hard, but if you can love everywhere and anywhere, then I think you're living a fulfilling life. Not everyone seeks romantic relationships, but the majority of people do. Of course, 99% of people do. And I would say this, if you're living a life of love, from love, with love, pouring love, and all other aspects, I think romance will come to you. It is but an inevitability. That's a hard word to say. Inevitable. It's inevitable. But she said fall in love. That's exactly, Susie. I would say there is more to life than just falling in love. It is to be love. At your very core, to be love. Love does not mean being a pushover. Love does not mean letting yourself be dragged around. And love does not mean necessarily always turning the cheek. No. Love is more than that. Love. You can give someone a stern no and still love. You can tell someone, I don't like being around you, and please go away. With love, you can. Remember, love is not always, oh, I love you. Love is living by your heart. Really being grounded in how you feel intuitively here in your heart. And if that means telling someone no, then that is also love. Laureen says, you are loved by many. Susie says, ooh, this is deep, I love it. Today's my 30th wedding anniversary. Oh, girl the curl, congratulations. I love the philosophical deep thinking. Love is self-care. Love is first and foremost. What's going outside? It's New York City. To love yourself is important. Indeed it is. Thank you for asking that, Wendy. I would say radiate love from your deeper inner core. And love is not only without. Not only love, but you have to love yourself. Love who you are. Love how you look. Love how you sound. Love whatever. Love every aspect of yourself. Of course, everyone has different circumstances. Awesome. Ooh, thank you so much. Wow. With popcorn. Interesting. Love it. Thank you.
Can I bring you a spoon for that?
Awesome. Oh, no milk. Don't worry.
Milk?
No milk.
No milk?
Love is not what you say, it's what you do, says Carol. Yeah. If you do not love yourself, no one will, says Wendy. Right. So here's a crazy dish we have here. The flan with some popcorn. That is a very interesting touch. A very interesting touch. I've never seen that. I love the sound of babies in the background. Yeah. Yeah. There's a family a few booths down in this restaurant, and there's an indoor restaurant, but it's a bit too close quarters. I decided to sit outside. And here's a coffee espresso. Nice. Probably the capsule espressos, I bet. Susie says, I love nice manners. You have nice manners. Oh, thank you, Susie. That is no movie theater popcorn. No, it's not. So feel free to ask me any deep questions. Let's try this flan. That's good. Wow. It's super creamy, not too wet. So this is not so traditional where they put the caramelized water, the syrup, all around. That would be more of a traditional flan. So the flan is a bit dry, but it's very good. It's very creamy. It's a well done flan. I really love the texture of it. Nice and bouncy. Let's try the popcorn. Good popcorn. Interesting combination. Flan. Never experienced that before. Kelly says, oh my ear. Yeah. Sorry everyone. All my control. What is the difference between love and respect? They're both one and the same. If you love, you respect. There is no respect without love. And there is no love without respect. They're one and the same. How deep? How deep is the deepest ocean? It gets really deep, Mater. The ocean gets really deep. It is really frightening how deep it is. And guess what? They've been finding in one of the frozen lakes in northern Russia. They've been finding lakes, not lakes, part of the Arctic Ocean, where it's so deep that they found holes that go even deeper. And they don't know where the water's going. And that's very trippy. That's very interesting. I'm so curious. Where does that water lead? Bree says, have you ever seen a ghost? I've never seen a ghost. But I have seen one thing in my life. I have seen an apparition. But that's something very personal, and that's something I usually don't talk about. But I've had one paranormal encounter when I was very little. A positive one, which is the good thing. Is this an Airbnb, Claire? No, this is not Airbnb. I'm in the restaurant. Ron says, ever experienced a deja vu? Well, they say that deja vu is a glitch in the matrix. So if you experience deja vu, there's something glitchy in our reality. I have, I've experienced deja vu many times. Many times. Many times. I can't tell you was the last time, but it happened to me fairly recent. Happened to me on the live video a few times. King says, what's your job? This is my job. Right here. You're seeing it. My job is a man who talks endlessly to the camera. Welcome to the new world. I mean, radio talk show hosts have been paid millions for doing what I do. TV show hosts like Anderson Cooper also paid millions to do what I do. So it has been a job for a very long time, at least in the modern world, ever since the birth of the radio. Today with you, Ariel, for all the chat in your energy, says JK. Hey, JK. I love your job because it suits you. Oh, I'm so glad. Only moment of sheer terror I felt was looking forward at the front-facing camera and the undercarriage camera over the Atlantic when I realized I went down and no one could save us. Oh no, Leslie. Well, evidently you're still alive, which is good. But wow, that seems very traumatizing. I'm so sorry to hear that. Kenny says, coolest host ever, Ariel. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you think so. Do you have an advent calendar? I do not have an advent calendar. Well, what is that, Susie? Love your work. Long-time viewer, says Peter. Oh, I'm glad. Especially in Ireland. Ariel is the ultimate streamer and content maker for the city, cultures, and exploration, says Inspire Life. Hey, you must have kissed the Blarney Stone, says Ellen. I did kiss the Blarney Stone, yeah. I did. You have a good voice, very easy to listen to, says Gwen. Thank you, Gwen. That is the utmost of compliments. A compliment that will rule all other compliments. Hey, Sense, nice to see you here. Best location is Sketch the Radiator Building. It's a tough building. Come during wintertime, Inspired. Come during wintertime and go to Bryant Park, more towards the 48th Street side. And there I think you can see the Radiator Building. During the summer, it's usually covered in the trees. If you're coming during summertime, or you want to get a different perspective while drawing it, go to the top of 1 Vanderbilt. Catherine says, you're flirting with us? No, never. This is a purely serious show. You have a spammer on here, says Linda. Yeah, fortunately on Facebook. Yeah, well, luckily we have a great moderator. What was your most embarrassing moment of your life? Someone earlier asked. Great question, Bella. Someone earlier asked. Excuse me. Someone earlier asked. Did any celebrity change my life? Yes, James Cameron. Go to the last video all the way towards the end. I talk about the entire story. In short, James Cameron, meeting him, he told me that I will be a filmmaker, and he said it so confidently. It just filled my heart with confidence. So most embarrassing moment of your life? I haven't put myself in too many situations where I have to be super embarrassed. Luckily, I just got distracted by seeing a cool apartment building, which I wonder who the designer is. But first grade, I had terrible diarrhea one day, and it happened in the middle of class, where it just came out, and the teacher had to help me get cleaned up, and that was very, very deeply embarrassing. I never got teased for it, luckily, but it was embarrassing for me. Yeah. I think I was way too shy to ask to go to the bathroom, and I didn't ask to go to the bathroom. I think something happened where someone abused their bathroom privileges, and the teacher got mad, so I ended up not asking to go to the bathroom because I was too nervous to ask, so I just stayed there until it all came out. Susie says, "Oh no, poor you." Yeah. Are you in the house? No, I'm not in the house. I'm in the restaurant, eating flan and drinking coffee. Dwayne says it happens to many kids I know of. Yeah, teachers. I know I have a few teachers that tune in. Let us know. Have you seen a lot of kids happen through that? I think it's more common than you would think. Hey, Mars, nice to see you. Everything is so orange today. It is. Welcome to the Orange Room here at this location, which I'll let you know at the end. Laureen has sent a PayPal. Thank you so much, Laureen. Laureen is a very kind contributor. Everyone, hearts to Laureen. Thank you so much for the PayPal. Really appreciate that. Very, very kind contributor. Thank you so much. She says you have to have tea time soon. Enjoy your tea time. Linda says, yeah, and those kids always remember you for that. Luckily, I think it happened in a way where kids didn't really notice. It was just, I was embarrassed because the teacher had to go through that. Marina, hello. Are you in Amsterdam? No, it kind of looks like I'm in the red light district. Have you traveled in Ireland? Yeah. Marin, check out my videos. 1 month of Ireland videos. It's like maybe 30 videos, 20 videos, something like that. 20 something videos. By the way, are we going anywhere soon? Yes. Hopefully January. Please tell the powers that be to not close the borders. I'll be very sad if that's the case. Tell Boris I'll be very sad if he closes the border. Inspire Life says, if you needed a guest to replace you, a guest host to replace you for a live stream, who would it be? I have had guests do takeovers. That's the term for that type of collaboration. Someone takes over. I had a few of them. I had a great tour guide from San Francisco, and she was really good. I think she was the best that has taken over my show because she knows the history. She's very humorous, and she's like very similar to me. So I think she's the best that has taken over. I have not spoken to her in quite a while, but she took over many years ago, like back in 2017, for a few live streams. Like 3 of them. My friend Jenny from Townie Tourist, she now has a different brand name, but Jenny's a very good person that has replaced me a few times or taken over the show. My friend Andy Burgess took over the show once in England, and he did a great job. So those 3 people. If I were to choose someone famous to replace me for a show, I would love to see Josh Gates do a show in my stead one day. That would be fun. I would love to see Josh Gates live stream. I think he doesn't I don't think he's live streamed. Of course, he's a television host, but I would love to see him do a live stream. Susan, thank you so much for the 200 stars. Susie says, but no one can replace you. Come on, call your buddy George. George who? George Lucas? He'll be a terrible replacement. Wendy says Keanu. Keanu might not be very good in live stream. I don't think so. He's a very great man. I don't think he has it for live streaming. Sorry, Keanu. Oh, popcorn is bad. Oh my God. Watch out with eating popcorn that has gone soggy. Ooh. tough on the teeth. Oh, Catherine says George Clooney. He might be good. Yes, he might be good. Janina. Janina's cold. Oh no, Janina. Hopefully you warm up. Buy some good sweaters. This is Flan, ladies and gentlemen. The Martin. Oh wow, that was a really good Flan. Really good Flan. Oh, Ron says, have you ever met someone you thought highly of but felt disappointed? Yeah, it happened with one celebrity. I won't say their name. Water bottle fell down. I won't say their name, but it happened with one celebrity that I really, really thought was awesome. But I met them and I just got the vibe that was weird. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I can tell we're in this neighborhood. So everyone, I'm going to stick around for about 10 more minutes, but let me show you the price. $65. And this is the place I went to, Toloche, in the Upper East Side. Susie says, are we getting thrown out? Unfortunately, with these restaurants in the US, you can't really linger in the restaurant, and I so miss Europe in that context. In Europe, it's the perfect place to like do these live streams because you could just linger in Europe, but here it's always in a hurry. But that's okay. It's okay. It's understandable. $10 for that little flan. The flan is normal sized. I don't think you could usually expect bigger serving. It's very rare. But yeah, to the celebrity, yeah, the person I met, they seemed to be under the influence of a hard drug when I met them. It was a public appearance, and the personality of them seemed very different from what I saw in many interviews. So I was very disappointed when I met them. Briefly. Have you been to Costa Rica? No, not yet. Servers need to turn tables fast to make a decent living. Yeah, it's very sad. It sucks because, servers here are not paid a living wage, so they rely on tips. Keith Richards? I won't say. Maybe you'll not go back here. By all means, this was really good. This was really good. We are in the Upper East Side, which is a very expensive area, so I would say this is a good price for the area. Though, you can find Mexican food where you won't be spending that much, and you'll be getting a lot more food. More towards East Village, Lower East Side area, you'll be getting probably twice as more food for the same price. On the street, met Bruce Willis, Denzel Washington, and Jodie Foster. Whoa, that's quite a trio. What city or borough do you think needs better urban planning? The suburbs of New York need better urban planning, in my opinion. Long Island, the suburbs of New Jersey, and the suburbs of Westchester and Connecticut. Those suburbs need to be better connected to the city, first and foremost. They have to be better connected to each other. Why isn't there a subway train connection from Nassau County to Connecticut and to Westchester? Why? Why can't you go from Queens to Bronx?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So why can't you go to Queens or to the Bronx? Why aren't there more trains that go across the Hudson into New York City, to Manhattan and to the Bronx? It doesn't make any sense. These suburbs are so packed with people, and that's why we have so much congestion in New York City. And if we were to allow more connection via public transportation, that would help a great deal. The second thing is actually allowing multifamily housing in the suburbs, and even parts of like northern Queens and parts of southern Brooklyn. If you allow people to build apartment buildings and multi-use buildings where there could be a business on the bottom, maybe an office on the second floor, and a few apartment levels on the top 3 floors, then you start having more life in the suburbs in New York City area. And this applies to anywhere in the US. But unfortunately, we don't have that. You know, that's why I love Ireland, because Ireland, yeah, there was a lot of houses and a lot of backyards and things like that, very similar to the US. But you can actually walk to your nearest grocery store. Check out Kilkenny. Those Kilkenny videos. I stayed with Kay, and everything was walkable. It could go. There was the nearest mall was walkable. I think there was a movie theater that was walkable. There was many restaurants, many barbershops, many things walkable.
There you go, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
night. All right. Wait up. Let me just add up the bill. Wendy says plenty of places like that. Yeah, plenty of places like that in the UK as well, but not in the US. Not in the US. In the US, you do require a car to go grocery shopping. You do require a car to grab a quick bite to eat, or grab a coffee, or go to your nearest mall or movie theater. You do require a car for everything, but in many European cities, you don't require a car. So we need more density in our suburbs that surround the city, because that's what Tokyo did many decades ago. They built better public transportation to the outer areas of Tokyo, and now Tokyo is a massive, gigantic city. But it's pleasant. It's pleasant for people who live there. I experienced that in London. I experienced that in Dublin. I experienced that in Rome. It's pleasant to be in cities because the ability to walk anywhere is great. I know people really love their cars, but not everyone loves cars. And it kind of sucks little kids growing up. I luckily wasn't fully in this case, but it sucks for little kids growing up that they have to be dependent on their parents till the age of 16 to be able to drive. It really sucks. To go to the nearest grocery store, you have to be dependent on your parents until the age of 16 in most places in the US and Canada. I think Europe has it better in that regard, and many other parts of the world. Small towns are the best, says Wendy. Yeah, they are, yeah. That's why I love Kilkenny. Oh, that was so good. Let me just drink a little bit more. There's plenty of walking in Edinburgh. Yes, that's why I'm excited to go to UK. Is there a random question you would like to ask us viewers? People always ask me that. I don't have any random questions right now, but if one pops up, I'll let you know. Bear, thank you so much for asking. Will you open up a mailbox, Ludo? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to be tethered to a mailbox. Though I appreciate the gesture, I do intend on traveling a lot more, so that's why I don't have a P.O. box. I agree, Ariel, 100%. I just moved to Houston and hate how my city favors driving over walking and biking. There's barely sidewalks. Yeah. Great name, voice of a seagull. Peace asks, am I worried about the newest variant? And we all know what we're talking about. The variant of the big C. I am personally not. I'm personally not. I am grateful that I am very healthy and am not within the demographic that affects people the most. I am of the thinking that travel should no longer be limited and that businesses should no longer be forced to close. We should protect whoever needs to be protected, should get way more care and more dedication to directly. But to make everyone else lock up in their homes is not a solution, in my opinion. It is not. It might be a solution for some pandemics in the world. I don't think quite this one. I think we need to protect the people who we need to protect, give them the full utmost care and love and support. Use all that money that we lost in closing down cities all around the world. Use that money that we lost for small businesses, that we lost in the economy. Use that money instead to give direct care and protection to the people who need it. So I think we should stop this nonsense of closing down things. Those are my thoughts. First time in history the healthy had to quarantine. Indeed. Well, the quarantine has been kind of the case in a few previous pandemics, but yeah, this is the first time in mass where people had to do it. Okay, feel free to ask anything else. Ariel for president, says Linda. Susie says, Boris said we cannot smooch. That's very saddening because human touch and human connection is the very thing that makes us healthy. It's the very thing that supports our immune system. To be able to touch someone, to be able to be in close proximity to another human being, your family, your friends, your lovers, your children, your neighbors, whoever. It is something that energizes us not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. And there are many studies that support that our physical well-being is supported by actual human interaction. And to deprive us of human interaction is a far worse path, in my opinion, than any of the consequences or any of the costs that might be required to help with whatever is in our way. So rather than restrict the world, help out the people who need the help directly. Peace Scarf says, oh, sorry, I hope it was kind of worms. You all take care. Just carry a piece of mistletoe with you, says Susie. Indeed. All right, let me stroll around a little bit. This was a great restaurant for all means. Yes, we're in the Urbanist dark room. Indeed. Yes, kisses are in the moments are never something you never forget. Indeed, indeed. And you know, there's something that do support our immune system. That is proven. Kissing does help with the immune system. Popcorn in your teeth. Yeah, I do have popcorn in my teeth. It is I've been annoyed. Susu, have you seen any Broadway plays? I've seen a lot. I've seen Book of Mormon. Right now, the things that are still open, I've seen Book of Mormon, and I've seen Aladdin, Chicago, and Phantom of the Opera. And that's it, I think, from the things that are still open. I would highly recommend, actually, number one would be Phantom of the Opera. It's just a classic Broadway musical. It is by far, in my opinion, the most Broadway you can experience. It's just something that I think everyone should experience at least once in their lives is Phantom of the Opera. But if you enjoy comedy, then go see Book of Mormon. I have not seen Hamilton. I only saw it on Disney Plus, but I would recommend it just by seeing it from Disney Plus. It seems like a great show. And I've seen a lot of shows before. I've seen In the Heights. I've seen Rotten. What is it called? Something Rotten. Many others. All right, let me show you the outside.
Yeah.
So this was the orange room. And this is the place, Doloche. Doloche, you should check it out. Doloche. If you want to check out a place here in this area. Ooh. Next door is actually a restaurant I actually did a video of quite a long time ago called Flex Mussels. And they have a location up here. These guys are very good for oysters and seafood. Oh, it's cool that they opened up here. Irene says this is the room where it happened. Yeah, and this was the condominium that caught my eye. Very beautiful condominium. Hans asks, any travel plans? No, I am not making any travel plans. Just in case. I don't know what's going to happen these next month. Some countries are already starting to shut down, as some European viewers have said. So I'm not going to make any plans, just in case. So I gotta walk over to the train. Which train should I take? I gotta go soon. Thinking where I need to go. Okay, I'm gonna take. Okay, now I know where I need to go. So feel free to ask me questions. I'm about 2 or 3 blocks away from my train station. This was the philosophical chat. Feel free to ask me any philosophical questions. Oh wow, look at this building. NW says, oh, don't go. Am I going home? I'm not going home at the moment. I gotta go to my tailor, pick up some jeans, some pants. Is that a new building? It is a new building. It looks gorgeous. I love the kind of like Gothic. No, not Gothic. Romanesque styling here with the rounded arches. Is that apartment building? Yes. Susie says we'll come with you. We'll be very quiet. I'm not sure. You guys gotta be very quiet. You gotta be very, very quiet. This is my tailor, you know, everything's very... My time to relax, says JK. Thank you so much for tuning in, JK. Striking difference between the two other buildings. Yeah. What time, what are you reading right now, book-wise? Kelly, I'm still finishing up the book, Mysteries of the Arctic and Antarctic. Still finishing up those books. Can 194 people, maybe. Cool. Man, nice to see you here. Welcome. Custom suit says 100 Jotas? Of course. No, just pants. Pants need to be hemmed. Is that the new building from the Russian oligarch firm? Oh, cool. Hasu says it's buffering. No. That's sad. If it's buffering. Just heard the variant was an anime con. Yeah, fortunately. Are we visiting the Arctic next? Look, it's harder than it may seem. Have you think about? Have you actually seen any travel vloggers go to the middle of the Antarctic? Now you think about it, there's no vlogs about the middle of the Antarctic. There's a few scientists that have made vlogs. Basically, that's it. No one has shown like the mountains of the Antarctic. Very interesting book. I have a few books out there that I want to read. Vignesh, let's not talk about anything about the pandemic. Feel free to ask me anything else. What street am I on? 82nd. I'll go up to 86. Hey, feel free to ask me anything. Marcus Aurelius would have been proud of that building. Are you going for kilt fitting? I'll do that once I go to Scotland. I'll get myself a custom kilt. Susie and Gary. Then I'll be a true Scot. Hopefully. I'm in my pajamas. It's 22:34 here. Oh my god, it's late. Hey, thank you for my card. I was so happy. It made me special. I'm gifting it to my brother, so when I read it, he will love it. Oh, so cool, Wendy. Hopefully the postcard I send you will arrive soon. Sorry, everyone. Sometimes the postcards may take sometimes a little while for the Mega Urbanist because of every country is different in how they deliver in the supply chain. 83rd. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's cold. Susie asks, what is the runtime for my documentary? My documentary, according to my executive producer, not my dad, the one of the production company, asked for it to be below 8 minutes. 8 minutes or below. So I just handed in something that was exactly 8 minutes. I had a hard time shaving anything else off. So it's 8 minutes thus far. I don't know if they're gonna ask me to do another edit, but I hope this is the last one. So thus far it's 8 minutes. It's going to be my doc for the show, Rise New York, the exhibition. Deanne says people tend to work in Antarctica for 3 months. I heard the pay is really good. Yeah, 3 months of the year. But one thing that the book really questions is why don't we get to know more about the terrain of Antarctica, the mountains, and there's like a cool lake in Antarctica. There's a lot of cool stuff in Antarctica. It's a huge continent. It's not just a frozen ocean like what the Arctic mostly is. So it is a rather strange that we don't know too much about the Antarctic, nor do we have photos or videos of the terrain in Antarctic. Most of the time you see scientists make a video or a photo, they just show all that there is. There's some terrain there. Well, this is nothing to see. That's could pretty much be the case. Zaina says, you look nice today. Oh, thank you so much, Zaina. Appreciate that. I'm going to ask you about that video on Patreon. Ah, Wendy, which one are you referring to? I will be uploading a Guggenheim tour. Stay tuned. Patrons will be getting a Guggenheim tour in the next 2 days. 360 VR. Andrew says, do you believe we're alone in this universe? No. I think there's much more to our universe than it seems. This is my favorite part of the live stream, says Morgan. Ariel walking. I'm glad. Yeah, well, I mean, these are once a month specials where I don't do too much walking. We're just sitting down and chatting, but I have to now get to my tailor before he closes. Inspire Life says, yeah, Guggenheim. I'm glad you're hyped for it. So ABX Girl was the name of the restaurant, Toloche. Tolloche. I'll show you the train station here because it's kind of cool. Linda says, oh, you breaking up the satellite following you around does not want you divulging the truth about it. Bella says, better have gotten it right. I went to know in How I Met Your Mother has Barney Stinson, which is the character played by Neil Patrick Harris. He has a tailor. In that show, the tailor is nonetheless Tim Gunn himself. But no, Tim Gunn is not my tailor. But this guy's like that character, Tim Gunn's tailor, Tim Gunn in How I Met Your Mother. Maybe one day I can ask him for behind the scenes. I just recently started going to him. All right, let me show you the cool train stations here, and let me mute for a little bit. Lynn says, wow, this is a very nice subway entrance. It really is. Wow, that's pretty steep, says Darlene. It is. Would you a fashion makeover with Duck Dynasty? I don't know them too well. Do you have customized jeans, says Irene? I do now, yeah. I've noticed I've been buying my jeans too long due to my waist. Usually my jeans come much longer. I'm a 36 waist. Sometimes I'm 35. And usually they come in 32 length. And 32 is way too long for me. So I got these hemmed. They used to look like scrunched up and stacked. And I realized I had a photo shoot because I got myself photos taken for professional uses. And I realized when I got the photos shown to me, I look super short. And like I literally look like if I were like 5'6" or something like that. And it's because I just did not have tailored jeans. The legs were too long, making me look more stumpy. So here is the gigantic station. Basically the last train stations that have been built here in New York City. And this is already like, what, 6, 7, 8 years ago? A little bit more maybe. I hope, really, they add more train stations. Robert says you look 5'2". Well, in those photos I did. Did not look like a very tall 5'2", like I usually am. Susie says your soon-to-be wife could alter your jeans. Well, that is if I marry a tailor. MK says, what is your actual height? A very tall 5'2". Very, very tall 5'2". As Buddy says, this has London vibes. It does indeed, yeah. Wow. How long do I have to wait? 4 minutes, okay, good. So. Lynn says he's over 6 feet. I'm a very, very, very tall 5'2". Some 5'2s are taller than others. A free concert. Yeah, he was playing some electric guitar, which is kind of cool. There's only one stop here left. That's why the train's pretty empty at this point. So feel free to ask me any last questions as I wait for the train. Does Mrs. Urbanist know how to make pie, says Ron. There is no Mrs. Urbanist, but I wouldn't be opposed to one that knows how to make pie. No, it's not requisite by no means. I do not want to see you vomit, which was the last thing I saw, says MK. There's not that much here. This is not really a party area, so I don't think you'll see that much. Leslie says, pipe down, you're not 5'2". Oh, Leslie. A very, very tall 5'2". It's all illusion, you know. Hold my camera very high. I tiptoe when I make these videos. Wendy says, I make great pie. Oh, that's great. A free concert, says Ludo. Indeed, that's a good thing. Free concert. Oh no, we don't got tickets, says Susie. Don't worry, you don't need it. I got you. Peace Scarf says, why are you all arguing about his height? I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why everyone has any doubts that I'm not a very tall 5'2". Imagine meeting Mrs. Urbanist and she created the great pie fiasco. Oh no. Back to yours for coffee. Hey, we have a machine of the Tower of London which can help with your height. Oh no, Espody, that is a terrible torture device from history. Terrible, terrible torture device. Do you have a great tour of subway art? I don't, because it would require me go. I usually do live videos, so I haven't done any live videos where I go from subway to subway because there's no service in the tunnels for most of them, so I can't really like stay live. As I could in Boston. Boston was really cool because I could do the live video and stay live the entire way through. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. All right, everyone, train's coming. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching this live video. Thank you so much for asking your questions for this philosophical chat. I really enjoyed it. It was such a blast chatting with all of you. If you want to become a patron, feel free to do so. Become a Mega Urbanist. This season, Mega Urbanist will be receiving a Christmas card from New York City. So feel free to become a Mega Urbanist. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day.